Hi and welcome back to FreeEduHub. As you know, we are covering a course on cloud computing, and for that we are doing some hands-on exercises. Last time we learned how to install Windows 10 in a virtual environment. We are using VirtualBox for that. If you have missed the video, you can go on the channel and find the video there. Now today we'll be learning some more concepts in the virtual machines. Now this is a virtual machine. As you can see, it's running at the moment. If you want to make any changes, you can go to settings and you can make the necessary changes. Now just to cover one more thing which we missed last time, that if you want to copy the files between two machines, like between the host machine and the virtual machine, the drag and drop and copy paste does not work. So in order to enable that, you'll go to settings. You'll first click on your virtual machine, then you'll go to settings, and here under the general tab you'll click on advanced and you'll select this option as bidirectional. So now it would allow us to copy the clipboard or share the clipboard and enable the drop and drag and drop between the host machine and the virtual machine. Now to check it further, we'll go to the settings of the machine and we want the virtual machine to be reachable from the host machine. Now if we'll click on the network, it's on the bridged mode. So if I want to check the IP address of this virtual machine, I'll go to command prompt and I'll type ipconfig to get the IP address of this virtual machine. As you can see, the IP address of the virtual machine is 10.02.15, and if I'll ping it from my host machine, which is Windows 11, let's see if we can get a response. Ping 10.0.2.15, and as you can see that my host machine cannot reach the virtual machine. Now we want to make sure that both machines are talking to each other so that we can run certain applications. We can test our applications using the IIS, which we installed last time, in order to host our application. And just to remind you again, if you want to host any application on IIS on your Windows 10 in a virtual environment, you'll go to C, then you'll go to inetpub, then you'll go to www.root, and you'll post the files over here for them to be available for the users on the network. So if we'll go to localhost, this page which is loading as the default page is this default page which is coming from the IIS itself. So that was about IIS itself. Now let's get back to the reachability of our virtual machine from the host machine. So as you can see that I cannot reach the virtual machine from my host machine. Now in order to make it available, what we'll do is that we'll go to the settings of VirtualBox first of all, and we'll go to settings, and here we'll click on network and we'll select as host only adapter. That's first thing that we'll do. Then we'll go to the virtual machine again and I'll type in ipconfig, and you can see that the IP address of IP4 has been changed now to the new address that we have here as 192.168.56.105. Now it was previously as 10.0.2.15. so this is the new IP address. If you want to clear it, type CLS and type in ipconfig again, and you can see 192.168.56.105. That's one step. Second thing is, sometimes you'll still not be able to reach the virtual machine. In order to fix that, you'll go to the control panel, you'll go to Windows Defender Firewall, and as you can see, by default the firewall is enabled over here. So in order to reach the virtual machine from the host machine, we'll have to disable the firewall. For that, we'll click on turn Windows Defender Firewall on and off. We'll switch off the firewall over here for both private network setting and public network setting. Press OK and close it. Now this is the IP address of our virtual machine. Let's try to ping it now from our host machine, which is Windows 11. So I'll type in ping 192.168.56.105. As you can see, now I can get a response from my virtual machine. So my host machine, which is Windows 11, can now communicate with Windows 10, which is in the virtual environment. Now, after having the reachability with the virtual machine, we'll try to learn how can we create different snapshots for our virtual machines. Now, this is a virtual machine which is running at the moment. There is a button over here. If we'll click on it, we can get all different details of our virtual machine. If we click on detail, we'll be on the main screen where we can manage the settings of the virtual machine. If we'll click on it and snapshots, we can create different snapshots of our virtual machine. We'll be covering shortly. Now, if you'll click on logs, it would show you complete log of your virtual machine. If you'll click on activity, it would show you the current utilization of the resources by your virtual machine, how it's performing, how much RAM it's consuming, the CPU load, and network utilization and rest of the things. If you'll click on file manager, it would help you in managing the files if you have any external storage attached to it. So we are more interested on snapshots. So in the current state, if I want to create a snapshot of the virtual machine, you'll click on take and it would create a snapshot. But before that, it's better to name it in a way that you can easily understand it later. I would call it a fresh installation, and in the description I can write with IIS and Hyper-V. We installed Hyper-V in our previous session. You can follow that video as well. Now press OK. So now it would create a snapshot. As you can see, it's saving the snapshot of the current state of the machine, and once it's completed, you'll be able to see the snapshot which would appear over here. As you can see, we have the name as fresh installation, and that's the time of it when it is created. Now if we'll go to the virtual machine again, and as you can see, we installed IIS and Hyper-V, and we'll go to the control panel and try to remove these two things. So we'll go to program and features, then we'll go to turn off on or off features for Windows 11, and we'll uncheck this option of Hyper-V and IIS from here and press OK. So now it would remove both things from here, which is IIS and Hyper-V. Now that's done. It's asking for a restart. We'll restart the virtual machine. As you can see, our machine restarted and we don't have IIS and Hyper-V. Now in order to check that, we can go to control panel. We can see an administrative controls. We don't see IIS over here and there is no Hyper-V. Further, in order to check it, we'll go to the control panel, large icons, and then we'll go to programs and features. Then we'll click on turn Windows features on and off. And you can see that Hyper-V is unchecked and IIS is unchecked. So we have removed both things from this machine. Now we'll go to our virtual machine again, and here we can create another snapshot of the machine. We'll take snapshot and we'll say after removing IIS and Hyper-V, and we'll create another snapshot of it. Now that's another snapshot which would be created, but keep in mind that every snapshot would be of the same size of the actual installation of Windows. So it's not recommended to maintain lots of different snapshots. You can release them or remove them from here if they are no longer required. So since we have removed it now from the virtual machine, and if I want to revert back to my previous state where I created a snapshot which was a fresh installation, I can restore it, but in order to restore it, we'll have to shut down this virtual machine. So we'll shut down the virtual machine and then we'll restore the snapshot that we created earlier. Now here you can see our virtual machine is off now. If I want to revert it back to the previous state, as you can see in this one, if I'll click on it, it would show an option of restore, and the current state is also there, which I created a minute ago. So I want to revert back to fresh installation, and I'll restore it. So it would ask you that if you want to create another snapshot, but I have already created it, so I'll uncheck it and I'll click restore. So now it would restore the machine to the previous state where we had it at the time when we created the snapshot having IIS and Hyper-V installed on it. So you can see it's saying saved fresh installation since we restored it, and let's try to start the virtual machine. So we'll click on this button again and we'll go to details, or in the same window you can click on this start button to start the Windows. As you can see, it's showing us a message that it is restoring Windows, and you can see the icons are back over here. And if we'll go to the control panel, administrative tools, and you can see Hyper-V and IIS is back in the settings. And further, if we want to go to programs and features, turn Windows features on and off, and here also you can see Hyper-V and IIS available, which is checked. Now sometimes it happens that you'll not have this option of Hyper-V or IIS. The reason is that you might be using a Windows Home Edition. It's only available in Windows Professional. Now that was about how can we restore Windows in a virtual environment. You can see how easy it is to create different snapshots and then restore your machine to a earlier state. Now we'll see how can we create different clones of the current operating system that we are using at the moment. So as I told you, since we don't need these snapshots anymore, I can click on the snapshot that was created earlier and click delete. So it would be deleted from the directory where we are saving it, and click on the first one also, click delete, and it would delete it from the system as well. Now we want to create a clone of this running Windows that we have at the moment. Now in order to create a clone of it, we'll have to shut down the virtual machine. So we'll first of all shut down the virtual machine. Now once the virtual machine is off, you can see this option of clone is enabled now. Now keep an eye over here, we have Windows 10 written only in the list. If I'll create a clone of it, it is automatically renaming it to Windows 10 clone. We'll keep it like that. You can select the path where you want to create the clone of the same installation of Windows. Make sure you have enough space available in that directory. I'm not going to make any changes over here. Press next. I want to create a full clone of the current operating system, and press finish. So now it would create a clone of the current operating system, and you'll see that another Windows 10 would appear here in the list with the name of clone. Now as you can see, it has created a clone of this Windows, which is Windows 10 clone. Now we can start both virtual machines over here, and we'll check the IP addresses of them. First of all, we have started the first virtual machine. It's powering up. And then we'll click on the second virtual machine as well and click start for that also. Now as you can see, my both virtual machines are running, which is Windows 10, which is the actual one, and the clone of it, which is Windows 10 clone. And this is one machine, and this is my second machine. Now in order to get the IP addresses of both machines, we'll go to command prompt and we'll type ipconfig, and I am able to see an IP address of the first machine, and I'll do the same thing over here, and I'll type ipconfig, and I can see an IP address. Now you can see the IP address for this one is 192.168.56.106, whereas it's 56.105 in this one. So if I want to ping my second machine, which is 192.168.56.106, I'm getting a response that this virtual machine is talking to the other one, and same way around, if I'm typing in 192.168.56.105, I'm able to ping the other machine. So that's how your two virtual machines are working and they are communicating to each other. It is very handy if you are testing anything, the settings of the application, or you are hosting an application and testing it from the other machine, or you are doing any sort of penetration testing, as we are covering a course on ethical hacking and penetration testing. You can check that course as well. We are trying to penetrate in one machine from the other machine within the network, so that it's not harming any other machines on the network. You'll be able to communicate from one machine to the another one in a closed network environment. So that was about creating clones of the virtual machine. I hope things are clear. That's it for today. Thank you very much.